right, now, lean forward, please. And remember, you gotta lock those legs when we count to 3, okay? All right? Good boy, Magic.
His journey has been one of always going forward here at the farm, of doing things that he never thought he would be capable of doing before because of the people here and the positive feedback he not only gets from everyone here, but from the horses and the love that he gets. It has totally changed Brian's life.
Hoorah, hoorah, we got this.
Cindy Silva finds it hard to express just how special it feels to watch her son Brian do things that most people take for granted.
I'm blanking on the words, but I feel serene in being able to come here and have Brian work hard and go home satisfied and say, this is the most beautiful place in the world. So
We're gonna hand that, lift it up and hand that.
I really can't think of the true words that I want to use.
But Brian sums it up beautifully.
Overwhelming gratitude.
Brush, brush, brush. Good work.
His journey at Wellspring of Life Farm in Monkton over the past year has been profound, both mentally and physically. This welcoming oasis offers equine and canine therapeutic activities, which have given Brian hope following a tragic car accident.
Brian went to the Air Force Academy and then became part of the F-15 fighter pilot Thunderbolts. He was 2 days before being deployed, and a drunk driver crossed both sides of a intersection where Brian couldn't get around him, and he went under the truck. They didn't expect him to live at all, and then when he did live, they didn't expect him to be able to do anything. So this has truly been a gift to have Brian be able to be with us.
And with Magic, a 4-year-old horse by his side, Brian has made significant progress. He started to use his left hand again, even while standing.
Go, Brian. That core straight. Keep your knees straight. Good job. Excellent work, Brian.
Program founder Dawn Leung has dedicated her farm to helping those experiencing emotional, cognitive, and physical challenges by honing in on the special relationship between humans and animals.
The beauty of this is, in working with therapeutic activities on our farm, is you actually learn to communicate with them and understand when they're communicating with you.
Look down.
Thank you.
Breathe in. Go ahead. Say hi.
So there's a lot of human-horse connections going on, and it's through that bond of problem solving together that people find wellness and healing.
The program has been a lifeline for Brian, helping heal not just his body, but his mind as well.
Brian is a different person. He is much more relaxed, much happier, and his muscles are stronger. His legs are able to support him much longer than they had originally. He's able to move forward and have the enthusiasm and the drive to want to be with the horses.
Especially Magic.
Magic's another man's best friend, and it gives me like a third or fourth leg or arm, and helps me to move forward, and it proves I can do things I didn't think I could do. So it's really been fantastic.
And there's a friend here for everyone who visits, regardless of age.
If you need someone to just comfort you, then just come hug a horse.
We have 8-year-olds and we have a 99-year-old, so we have the whole span. And people come here for different reasons, whether they're a volunteer or a participant.
After serving for 27 years in 3 different wars, 99-year-old veteran Orville Hughes has found another way of serving.
Horses are like people. There's certain things they like, certain things they like less. When you brush a horse, you can tell whether he is responding or not.
Well, knows what he's doing. There you go.
He likes this.
He does.
While anyone can come experience the joys that Wellspring of Life Farm has to offer, Dawn has a special program for military members, first responders, and their families.
Right?
Yeah.
Both my adult children are serving. One's Coast Guard and one is Army. And the cool aspect is now that their ponies can serve. So we really think that's kind of nice.
And for Dawn, this peaceful farm is her way of giving back to others who have given so much.
Brian looks to the people at the farm as family, and they treat him like he's family. It's an experience that I think everyone should be able to have.